Hello. I hope you're all doing good, and I can really understand like you're all having a great time watching TestFlix. A lot of talks and a lot of information, right? Thank you so much for joining my talk. So we'll be exploring more about the prompt techniques, how to draft an efficient prompt, and it's about the art of writing better prompt for the better results when you're working with your generative AI and different sort of LLM systems. Thank you. So let's get started. So today's content, it's more about the introduction first about to prompt engineering, and then we'll see like what are the different techniques, and then there are a lot of tools available in the market. So I'll just share a few which can help you to write and test your prompts, and then we can see the finally wrap it off with some best practices, which can definitely help you, which comes handy for the next time when you write your prompts. A bit of introduction about me. Yes, I'm a kind of passionate tester who is being into this domain for more than 12 years, and I am associated with multiple tools and technology. I am just part of many ambassadorship programs as well. And yes, so we can get started with the introduction. I know, like, these are the terms that you might be hearing when you talk about more of the AI systems and generative AI specifically. So we can just try to decode the terminologies or the technical terms that you hear around specifically to this prompt engineering. So before getting started, I want you to remember this quote. You get what you ask for in this life. If you ask for nothing, you get nothing. So Phil McGraw, he's an American TV personality, and he quoted this. So why I'm stating this right now, this has a lot of a similarity when it comes about prompting. So prompting is about when you give a better input, an exact drafted input, the system knows what exactly has to do, and your output can be definitely more better. So that's how you always get what you ask for. So just remember this when you write for your prompts next time. So what is a prompt, Priscilla? You can just ask me. The beginners are also there, right? So they're just a group of text or a kind of simple lines, or even it can lead to passages, paragraphs, lines of sentences as well. So where we are trying to instruct the generative AI or the models and to produce the desired outputs, right? So we have to ask the system correctly in a correct way so the system can understand and interpret, and it's going to give an output where you are so happy about it, right? So that's just a prompt. When it comes to prompt engineering, it's about again making it something more beautiful, a kind of art, not just doing for sake, and you're going to do it like an art. So that's how prompt engineering comes into picture. So when we talk about prompting techniques, I want you to remember the first thing is about instruction. So you have to start all of your prompts, most of the prompts, it'll be better if you start it with some kind of verbs, kind of action items. What the system has to do. You're trying to instruct it, right? Summarize it for me, condense it for me, draft it for me. So all these terminologies, kind of action items. So you're just instructing the AI systems. So that's about your instructions first. And the second thing is about role play, which is very similar thing which we might have done and during most of our childhood days. We'll be pretending as if you're a doctor, as a policeman, right? So the same way here, you're asking the AI systems to be acting or pretending as if they are so and so personality. They can be a superhero, a kind of imaginary person, or they can be a kind of a doctor, a physician, right? They can be a dietitian. So you can just ask, imagine as if you're a dietitian and suggest me a 3 months planner, diet planner for a diabetic patient. So these kind of prompts will make it more realistic, and you can definitely see the advancements in your output as well. And the ensured is nothing but when you explain a complex topic to someone, you always give it as a metaphor or you explain it with an example, right? The same goes to the AI systems as well. You have to start giving examples to the AI, and based on example 1, 2, and 3, I want you to derive on the answer for the question 4. So there is a question and answer format for the AI. So based on that, you can try to provide multiple examples. And when we talk about types of short prompting, so the N short prompting can again be differentiated into three major types. Zero short is about I'm not giving any example, okay, and the system has to predict and give me the output. So what's 2 plus 2? It's just 4. And when I give just one example and based on that I ask my question, it is being conceptualized as the one shot example. And when I give multiple examples, we can see that the output quality is gradually being improved because these examples are so clear and the system is able to understand what is your ask here. And when you construct a prompt next time, I want you to remember these three majorly. So first about role, if possible. I'm not telling like you have to have all the three in your prompts, but it's good to have if it is possible. Your role, like role play, you have to define your system, what kind of role it has to play. And if it is an instruction, like what it has to do, what is the context, setting the context and giving it an instruction. And the examples, like what sort of examples that can make understand the system more about your request. And there are some advanced concepts which is being coming into the market every day. Researchers are doing continuous researches and they are working on this prompting and advancements of prompting. So one of the recent trend is about chain of thought. You can just imagine like instead of just giving a simple answer, the LLMs or the AI systems are being trained and encouraged to think about their reasoning skills. Like a major complex task, they are just breaking into smaller chunks. An example here, a farmer had 93 chickens, okay, and so question is there. So if the answer is being asked, the older models of the AI systems or the LLMs would have the answer directly as 113. But right now, your systems are capable of explaining it, giving it as a reason like reasoning skills and analytical and the logical skills are also being improved. It's able to think step by step and it's able to justify why it reached the answer. And also another example, I have around 3 different prompts, and then I have finally a sample example text, which it has to work on. So I'm just chaining multiple prompts, right? So this is also one of the example of the chain of thought prompting. And the next one is about self-consistency. This is about the earlier example we saw in for few short prompting, all the additional examples. Like the examples which I gave is also about 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3. So it's similar examples. When I give multiple examples which are like diverse, the system can again have a diversified idea. And when I ask the nth number of question based on my previous samples, it can actually give a better output. The quality is definitely increased. So together with few short prompting. Okay. So if you see, I've asked a question and the answer I get here is like 73 years old. I didn't give any example. It's a very simple prompt. But here I have given n number of Q&A. Q&A is nothing but the template for the question and answer for the samples. See, all the examples are exemplars, which we call it as another way. So all the examples I have listed, and then the final answer is 67 years old, which is more closer towards the correct answer. So people say, like, when you work kind of multiple examples, you're closer to your correct answer. So that's how AI system can be trained. So this is a kind of self-consistency method. Another one which I have to definitely say here is about tree of thoughts. It's a kind of also a very recent framework the researchers suggested where we are understanding or we are letting the language models to evaluate the systems are being able to think stepwise, but in the multiple path. Okay, A, B, C. You can just imagine about your data structures paper, which you have studied during your college days. There we had this something called breadth first search, which is the efficient and the fastest route. So the same way, we can actually try to think as different kind of tree thoughts, and we can finally decide which was the better option. So another example here is like, I've asked a question to ChatGPT, and I asked it to think it as about 3 different experts. And the 3 different experts answer a kind of different one. And finally, you can select which answer or which expert answer is being somehow more closer to your expectation. So this sort of prompting is called tree of thoughts. And there are a lot of tools and frameworks there to help you with designing better prompts. Okay, I just want you to show two tools here today. One is about this prompts royal, and another one is about OpenAI Playground. So this prompts royal is about developing or generating your prompts. If you're a beginner, you can again ask me. This is again crazy, right? So you're already using your AI systems to give a prompt, and you're going to get your response. And to write a prompt itself, of course, there are a lot of AI tools available and frameworks are available. I wouldn't suggest directly using it, but if you're a beginner, definitely this is the best place to start. It'll help you to develop or think as if you are developing a correct prompt using all the frameworks. So here I've just given my prompt, and once I generate like how many versions of prompts I would want, like 1 to 5 or n number, it'll give me, and it'll rate the prompt also, like which one is best. And I can just copy the prompt and I can just go to my LLM system. So, and it uses the API key for OpenAI. So if you have an account, it'll be really useful for you. And the next one is about OpenAI Playground. Okay. So here, this is how the OpenAI Playground looks like. You have to come to this URL into this playground, and you'll have multiple modes here like chat, complete, and edit. Okay. So if you wanted to go for a chat mode, we'll be selecting this. And again, here also you will have a lot of models. So since it's a free account, I don't have GPT-4. It's just with this 3.5 turbo. And even the 16K is about the context length. And this is the date of the release. If you wanted to try something about kind of text summarization and all those things, you have to select this complete, and where we have many models available, and you can see the capabilities of that as well. And when it comes to edit, like you have to fix your typo or grammar, we have this edit, and there are some models for that as well. You can select, and so in the same place kind of playground, you can just give one simple prompt and you can try to understand how it's behaving for the different systems as such. So when it comes to the chat mode, I have just analyzing the system, and I'm just trying to teach this is what it should respond. The system responds as it's a beautiful day, and it goes on like that. So even if I ask why so again it can just continue my chat, and it goes on like that. So when I have to use this complete, I can just use it for some kind of elaboration or some kind of summarization or condensation, any sort of activities. I'm just selecting any text related model, and I'm just giving it as a enter, and it is obviously able to help it for me. So this is how you will be getting your response. So based on these, so if I want to edit something, I can just ask it to fix the grammar or something like that. If there is any typo, it can just do it for me. So this is a kind of playground where again this is also using your ChatGPT account API call. So if you have OpenAI account and if you have some free credits, of course you can use it. So it'll just fix the grammar for me. So this is how it works with the OpenAI playground. So before we wrap it off, I just want to give few best practices, which I want you all to remember. So whenever we get started with the prompting, always be clear and specific and talk as if you're talking to a real person. And also structure your prompts. Try to include more examples so the system can understand more, and include the constraints like whether the word count or if you have any sentence or count, which is all. And too much of information, if it is not needed, that's what we call it as an overload. And don't just stop with any open-ended questions, because that will give you an answer, but it is more of an assumption, right? Not a descriptive answer. And always define the output style also, if you're looking for something specific like a professional, confidential tone and all those things. And don't just go with one prompt. Try to come up with the different prompts and try to play around this area, and it's a kind of skill definitely you can learn with the continuous practice. Okay. And thank you so much for listening. And thank you, Test Drive, for having me part of this year's TestFlix as well. It's always been a pleasure and honor to be associated with you folks. And thank you so much for listening patiently. Bye bye.